Hi guys, I'm Shmi and today we are in Italy, near to Lake Garda, where we're surrounded by some spectacular roads. And I've got a rather exciting little car here to be taking a look at as well. This is the new Abarth 124 Spider. So this morning I've been driving in the Fiat 124 Spider, having a lot of fun, and we're going to come back to that a little bit later on, because the main focus, of course, has to be the opportunity to take an up-close look at this rather cool little thing. So it's obviously the flagship of the new 124 range. It has the halo sort of paint design with the matte black bonnet and the rear boot lid too. The Abarth version, the 1.4 Multijet engine, 170 PS, 168 brake horsepower, 250 Newton meters of torque, 0 to 62, 6.8 seconds, available with a 6-speed manual or with a 6-speed automatic should you prefer. And this is a prototype vehicle, which is quite an exciting one for me to be able to drive. It also has the record Monza exhaust system down here, the quad exhaust pipes at the back, which I believe are going to sound rather exciting when we start it up and take it for a little drive in a moment. Also here, just while I'm thinking about it, we have the new 595s as well, the new Abarth. The facelift, but updated version of the car I used to have. I used to have an Abarth 595. Back before now. So this is a rather special one to be able to enjoy today. The car comes as standard in Abarth trim, very well equipped, all of this sort of electronics and the like, and with this sort of red and black interior, custom for this car. It's quite a cool little plaque there in the center console. You've got the Scorpion here and the Alcantara on the center console panel. We'll have a good look around the interior when I get back from the little drive, but just sort of continuing looking around the outside, part of the sort of halo design scheme. You have the red highlights like the mirrors and the trim details around the front. You've got a very aggressive sort of look to it. Now the beauty, I think, of these cars, this car and this, is that you have the engineering partnership with Mazda, so it's very much akin to the MX-5, but you have the looks and sort of flair and emotion side of the Italians. What more could you want than Japanese engineering and Italian design? It's a fantastic winning combination. So from the outside, clearly a good looking little car. It's very small, only 1,060 kilos, 158 brake horsepower per tonne as a result, which is quite a mean achievement, really. I love the sort of look of the way this line folds around from behind the headlight round to the front. Cool little design touch in the sort of overhanging front end of the grille, which just gives it a slightly more aggressive stance there. Obviously we've got the larger wheels as well on the Abarth car. Let's just jump in and fire the car up to hear it from the inside. Got the key already here. See the new style Fiat key with the Abarth logo on there, of course. Manual, foot on the brake and the clutch. There's a start-stop button here. That's a pretty raspy little noise we have out of this car already. On the interior, we've got all the Alcantara with the red stitching across here. It's pretty cool, actually. But like I said, we will talk more about that when we get back. Wow, that exhaust sounds awesome. So I'm going to drive it, keep the roof down for the minute, go for a little cruise, see what it's all about. Okay then, let's get underway. Straight out on the road, of course. Haven't had time to prepare or drive the car in advance. I think I'm one of the lucky ones being allowed to get behind the wheel of this thing, so a big thanks, of course, to Abarth for making that possible. This car fitted with the 6-speed manual, which is exactly, I think, how you want it if you're driving a small open Roadster. It's also available with a 6-speed automatic as well, and if you have the auto, you have an option of a sport mode for quicker shifts and the like. In this, it's all down to the good old 3-pedal setup and doing it yourself. And it's quite fun, and as you can hear, quite easy to sort of lift the car up. And then when you accelerate, the exhaust sound is just great. It's rasping away behind you. It's a lot of fun. So obviously I drove the 124 to get here this morning, the normal Fiat version of the car. So I've had a little bit of experience getting used to it, and obviously, like you'd expect, it's a very small, very nimble, very easy to position car. More than enough power. You go for an overtake here. Absolutely plenty for normal driving in something that's quite this small. I mean, it's over 150 brake horsepower per tonne. That's a pretty nice statistic for the car, and it's pretty easy to drive, and it's easy to have so far enjoyment out of it. Feels very rewarding, feels very sort of precise and pinpointable. I'm liking this. I feel a lot more at home in here, I think, than I did in the 124 Spider before the normal one. Like I said, we've got all of the sort of optional side of things. The car has a very nice specification from the word go to justify the £10,000 price hike over the standard model. 29,000, well, just short of 30,000 in the UK for this car. So we come out into National again, stretch the lungs a little bit. Cyclists around here, but the roads are spectacular, and this is a pretty good car to be driving in. This is back to that sort of like, you can picture why this car works here. Lots of small, narrow roads. Oh, and there goes a biker. Lots of small, narrow, enjoyable roads. Exactly the environment where you want to have some fun in a car like this. Let's stretch the legs a little bit. Rev it up to the 6,500 red line. Oh, couldn't quite get there between those corners. That was awesome, the crack on the upshift, that was amazing. I wasn't expecting that at all. That's exactly the character of this car. It's got the flair and excitement, and going around corners slightly aggressively, it's really, really feeling sort of exciting and enjoyable. I want to sort of push it a little bit harder and get playing some more. This car has a lot to give, a lot of feedback from it as well. Steering is great, it's very pinpointable. I've just got a smile on my face. See, this is the thing. You can drive all of these crazy, crazy supercars. You jump in something like this that can cost 10% of the price, and you can have so much fun. It's all about the right cars for the right kind of experience, the right setting, the right position. And this, what we're doing right now, what a car to be doing it in. Unfortunately, I find myself stuck behind a bus, which is exactly where I do not want to be in a car like this, but it does give us a slight moment, I guess, to reflect and think about the car a little bit. It's got a sort of new suspension setup. It's got Bilstein dampers, uprated anti-roll bars for this car versus the normal 124. We've got new Brembo brakes, which I guess is obviously helping, larger calipers. So it's all sort of upgraded in exactly the right way versus the standard spec car. And that's what Abarth does, isn't it? They make these things an awful lot of fun, and that's why I owned my 595 before a couple of years ago. I could certainly see myself having something like this as a sort of toy just to go out and enjoy driving, because it really is. It's just fun. It's absolutely awesome. I have to confess I've not driven the MX-5, but this is wonderful. This is a really, really, really enjoyable little car to be driving. Having a lot of fun. Something about that, almost back to basics. I mean, not quite, it's obviously incredibly complicated, a car like this, but that slightly back to basics approach of pulling everything together into something and just making it about the driving experience. And that's what seems to work so well at the moment, because cars can be quite practical. Pull in here, so I've got a bit of space in front of me. Quite practical, but very, very fun as well. I've got back to the hotel checkpoint then, parked the car I've been driving alongside the other three Abarth 124 Spiders that are parked up here. 2 in red, 2 in white, mixture of manuals and automatics. One thing to note though, while I'm thinking about it, the Halo scheme is a free no-cost option, whether you have it or not on the car. What I'm going to do now though is show the roof process, because you almost certainly don't know how that works. What you do is you pull this, which releases this sort of soft piece from the back. You then lift it up. You've got this sort of mechanism here to pull down to latch it. So you need to unlatch it like that. Pull it over, press it down, and it will sort of gentle click. And then come to the underside and literally pull it down, click, and the roof is up. That easy. It's actually super, super easy. And obviously I'm doing it one-handed because I've got the camera going. Oh, so the other way, and reverse it, do that, push that back, Catch it again so it's out the way, click it down. How many seconds? Not many. That's a very natural Roadster. So yeah, that's been really enjoyable. Those kind of roads, in this kind of car, I don't really know what else you could want. Quite heavenly. Quite utterly brilliant. Yeah. Gotta think about price point, 30k. Some might say it's expensive, but it's 170 horsepower, and then you get a lot of smiles for that. Smiles per mile. This is gonna be very, very high up. Let's, like I promised, take a whiz around the interior, just quickly, and have a look at all the different sort of parts. You've got some nice trims, mirrors, controls down there. Multifunction steering wheel, lots going on here for your cruise control, your track and volume and phone stuff. You've got the 12 o'clock stripe, that's quite nice, and the red counter as well. Just start the engine back up. Yeah, so you've got the red rev counter, which I like. Digital display to the left with lots of information, if you can just about see that in the sunshine. Traditional speedometer at the right. 7-inch screen here in the centre. The air vents are quite nice too. Air conditioning controls here. If I set it for auto, it will no doubt blow insanely strong air at me. Seat heating as well down there. The gear stick's quite nice. It's a very short throw, so that's nice. Sport mode controllers here. Nav and entertainment controls. All of that lovely stuff. The Scorpion I mentioned earlier above the little storage bucket we've got here. Some coin pockets. Some USB plugs down there. The Alcantara, which is all very nice, and there's stitching and embroidery on the seat, which is also nice. Little lockable container back here. That's actually really large. I didn't see that coming. There's a lot of space back down there. Okay, that's exactly why I like doing these kind of videos. Nice big rear view mirror, and the lights just above. Seeing as it's warm, why not? Very nice. Right, let's switch this off. I'm gonna jump out, and I think it's time for me to say farewell to the 124 Abarth and jump back into the normal car for the stretch from here to the hotel. While I'm here, let's take a quick look at this. Which colour should I pick? I'm going to pick yellow because yellow stands out big time. New car, just got a revised look to it. I think it looks really cool, lots of presents. Are the cars open? They are, so we can have a look inside. Ooh, the carbon trim's very nice. Bucket seat's awesome as well. That's a nice little spec. That is a very, very cool Fiat 500. It's not at all, is it? The 595 Competizione. So farewell Abarths. Let's head back to the Fiat 124 Spider. To offer some thoughts about how this car compares, I think obviously power is a big one. 140 horsepower in here is just not quite enough for me. I significantly preferred the Abarth with 170. Gave it just enough grunt to be able to sort of do more things and use the car perhaps a little bit more. It's very well refined though, that's perhaps one of the surprising things. It feels like a quiet and comfortable place to be. You know, this is a 20k car, yet it's pretty nice. It's really nice actually. I mean, it should be, but with the roof up like this, it's peaceful, it's chilled. There's obviously not very much exhaust noise from this one. You only get noise with the Record Monza exhaust on the Abarth, so that would be very firmly on my options list. If I was driving one, I want to have the tone of it, but I mean the steering's lovely, the ride is pretty fine, it's got the excitement, it's got some character, it's what it should be. I'd have the Abarth, I'm not going to be discreet about that, but I am equally having a very good time driving this car, enjoying it, cruising through Italy in something sort of very important, I guess, to Italy, the Fiat Spider. So I'm going to meander back towards the hotel, where there will be lots of these parked up, I presume. I've really enjoyed today so far. Onwards. Well, I'm the first to arrive where we started earlier today, which was quite cool because you had about 15 or 16 cars parked up here in kind of an open-air cinema kind of thing, with the screen up here showing us the sort of introduction video and sort of leading us through the talk for the day and the road book, watching from the cars, which was a pretty awesome way to start a sort of launch event. Now, you've already noticed, I'm sure, that I've parked the car I have been driving, which is that grey one, alongside an original 124 Spider, which amusingly is actually 50 years old. That was built for 19 years, from 1966 to 1985. And it didn't change much at all in the process. It's quite fun having the two cars together though, because you can see the whole sort of history heritage kind of angle. Things that carry over between, you know, the silver sort of chromed windscreen, the very wide and narrow sort of front grille, the circular style lights. Even with the new light design, you've still got the sort of ring, if you can just sort of make it out around the headlights. There's a lot of similarity in the way they're set up from the old car through to the new one. And another fun fact actually that we were told about the Fiat 124 is it actually generates 124 horsepower per litre in the engine, which is quite cool. Touched on it a bit, of course. A lot of sharing with the learnings from the MX-5 from Mazda. Different gearbox setup, different engines. Fiat and Abarth have their own engines, and of course different visuals on the exterior. Interior very similar, but with new materials, leathers, stitching and the like, just to give the Fiat and Abarths slightly more sort of quality to the interior feel, or at least that's the aim. So, I mean, actually that history heritage thing is quite a big thing going forwards now, with all the car companies looking at what they've done before and working on that and sort of going back to their roots, and in this case, you know, the emotion and all of that side that comes with it. So I really enjoyed driving the Abarth earlier. A lot of fun with that car. I mean, you'd expect, so Abarth is about the sort of performance and motoring sort of purist side of things, and the car did it very, very nicely. But equally, the Fiat 124, I mean, it's going to be a big seller in Europe and in the USA. I think they're expecting 50-50 sales split. Is surely going to be quite successful for good reason. It's a very enjoyable drive for a car that's of that class. I mean, as I said, I would want a little bit more power, but it's absolutely fine and has been quite good fun. And you can't see it right now, but in blue it looked really nice. But I would say that, wouldn't I? I should probably show you the luggage space actually while we're here, because that is a relevant point in these kind of cars. Plenty. No shortage at all. I've got the sort of standard size case that you can take on an aeroplane in here, and there's a lot of more room for more stuff around there, so you can get good road trips worth. And hey, the sky's the limit. You can have big things just sticking out. So this has been a fun day. Big thanks obviously to Fiat and Abarth for having me down to drive their two cars, which have been very enjoyable in some glorious weather, where that seems to have left us now. And yeah, if you're considering one of these, I recommend taking it out for a test drive. If you're considering an Abarth, definitely go for it. That thing absolutely rocked. Awesome little piece of kit, and I have thoroughly enjoyed it. So thank you very much for watching, guys. That's it for now. I will catch up with you again very soon. Cheers. Audi have released the upgraded version of the RS6, the RS6 Performance, which is what this. Of course, we've got the Brabus 500, G500 4x4, where they